Today in our 2016 Chevrolet Silverado 2500, we're going to be installing the truck bed cargo camera, and this works with both 7 or 8-inch factory monitors. To determine which one you need for your vehicle, you'll measure your screen diagonally from corner to corner. And this is what our camera looks like when it's installed. It goes right behind your factory third brake clamp, and the camera sticks down below. The camera is adjustable. You do have to move it manually in order to readjust it. Most people use these for hooking up to their fifth wheel or gooseneck trailer. As you can see here, we've got ours set up with our fifth wheel. Let's take a look at our camera so we can get an idea what it's going to look like when we're backing up. We've now got our truck in reverse. This is our factory camera. We do have the tailgate down, so that's why it's pointing down towards the ground. But you can see our hitch there. We'll hit the switch for our new camera, and then immediately our display switches over, and you can see the top of our fifth wheel head right there. We're going to have a great view when backing up, making it an easy task to get that fifth wheel hooked up. It integrates directly into your factory display. You can see here we've got lines to help us when we back up, and it's a full color display just like our factory camera. To begin your installation, you are going to need to access several components. We're going to need to access the back of our radio, so we're going to remove some of our trim panel bezels here so we can do that. You're just going to have to use that trim panel tool to work your way around to gently remove it. Once you've got it pulled out, you're going to want to release the electrical connectors. There's a release tab here at the top. You'll just push that in and pull out. And we can set that aside. Next, we'll remove our control panel here. You're going to use a 7mm socket to remove all the bolts around the 4 corners. We'll now pull our controls away. We're going to disconnect those electrical connectors as well. Just press in on the release tab to remove those. We'll set that aside. We'll now disconnect our factory connector here by pressing the release tab and pulling it out. We'll plug our new harness in. We'll plug our factory connector into our new harness. We're just going to kind of tuck those in, and then we need to route our wiring over towards our glove box. We are going to need to take the glove box out. There's just 4 bolts that hold that in. There's 2 at the bottom, and once you open the glove box, you'll find 2 at the top on the inside of the lid. You'll remove those with a T15 torque socket, and that'll just pull out of the way. We'll then need to route our wiring over behind our glove box. Now we'll take the other harness that comes in our kit. We're going to plug the yellow connectors together. Once we've got our wires run over to our glove compartment here, we're going to need to connect our ground and power wires. You will have 2 ground wires, the black wire that comes off of the module that comes in your kit, as well as the red and black wire that comes off your small little jumper harness here that we plugged in. Both of those we're going to put to the same ring terminal and ground right here using the screw that's already in place on the cross brace that goes behind your glove box. Next, we'll need to hook up our power wire. Now, our power wire is not very long, so we did have to extend it. You can pick up additional wire here at eTrailer.com. We're also going to need to use some butt connectors to extend that. You can pick up butt connectors here at eTrailer.com as well. So we extended that and ran it over to our fuse compartment over here. There's a panel here that just pulls right off. Once you've got that pulled off, we'll make our power connection. We used a quick splice to connect that to the red and white wire coming off of our fuse panel right here. These quick splices are real easy. You just slide your wires in. There's 2 holes. Once they're both slid in, you take a pair of pliers and you squeeze the metal tab here down, and that'll connect them together. That's just a locking tab that keeps it covered up. Now we'll need to hook up our accessory power wire. That's the one labeled ACC here. It comes from your switch. Again, the wire is not long enough to reach where we needed to, so we had to extend it. So we'll be using some more wire and butt connectors to bring that over. We went over to the same location, but this time we used a quick splice to go into the violet and yellow wire that's coming out of the connector here. There are 2 violet and yellow wires that come out of this. There is a smaller one located around here. We want to use the thicker wire. Since we're here, we're going to mount our switch up. So we want to remove the nut and the on-off indicator there that comes with the switch. There is a star washer there as well. We're going to leave that one on. Might be easier just take it off temporarily so you don't lose it. We're going to mount our switch here. So we're going to need to drill a hole here to put our switch in. So we're going to feel back here. There's nothing there. We're going to line up our switch where we want it, about there in the center. We're going to use a 1/4 inch drill bit to make our hole. We can now bring our switch up. Make sure that you've got your star washer on it. Slide it through the hole that we just drilled. On the other side, we can place our washer that has our on-off indicators on it and our nut, and tighten those down. Before we tidy up our wires, we need to route the wire for our camera from the back up here to these. So we're going to go to our third brake light now. We'll now remove our third brake light using a T20 Torx socket. There's one bolt on each side. And it's a little tight, but it does pop off of there. We'll disconnect the electrical connector. Your kit does come with a new gasket for your third brake lamp. So if when you're taking it off you damage it, you'll need to remove all that original gasket and stick on our new one. Since when we took ours off, we didn't cause any damage to the gasket, we can simply slide it right into our assembly and we're ready to go back together. We'll go ahead and plug our third brake lamp back in. We're just going to use that to keep our assembly together, because before we screw that back down, we want to get our wiring from our camera routed over towards the passenger side above the headliner so we can access it. Once you've got that wire routed over, you can reinstall your third brake light assembly by reusing the bolts that you took out. We took our wire, we ran across the back of the headliner until we came out here on the side. You will have to pull your weather stripping down in order to access that. We're then taking that wire, we're running it forward, staying on top of the headliner. We want to go past this B pillar here. So we're going to feed it until it comes out the other side. Once you've got it routed to the other side of our B pillar, there is an extension that comes in your kit. You are going to need to plug that in now. And we'll continue running all the way down our headliner here until we get down to where our fuse panel is. At that point we can put our weather stripping back on. That just pushes back into place. We then just went through the same hole that we did with our other wiring, going towards the glove box. Behind our glove box, we'll plug in the two connectors here. The yellow is going to go to the yellow here, and then the male and female for our power wire for our camera will plug in there. We've now got all our connections, so we can take all of our wiring here and just zip tie up all of this and make it nice and neat. Once you've got your wires all tidied up, you can reinstall all your panels here on the inside. We'll do that just following reverse order of how we took them out. And that completes our installation of the truck bed cargo camera on our 2016 Chevrolet Silverado 2500.